from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hey there, good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast brought to you live from the National News Studios here at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Dishan Virako and together with Sharon Mascarenas. Let's start off by taking a look at your headlines. Hindu devotees worldwide celebrate Deepavali. President's pardon on 8 Tamil prisoners. Presidential allocations to the Disaster Management Center for the provision of disaster relief. Steps to double the fuel quota for three-wheelers engaged in passenger transport. A further decrease in the price of gas by the first week of next month. The annual casino tax has been increased by 150%. More tax revisions are to be made on gambling places. Cases filed against many shops in Colombo for selling low-quality bread and raids against errant traders continue. A new Prime Minister for Britain on the 28th of this month. Now moving on into those and other stories in detail. Now, Deepavali, one of the main festivals of the Hindu devotees, falls today. Now, Hindus throughout the world are attending special pujas in this connection. One of the main reasons behind the Deepavali festival is the commemoration of the death of Naragasuran. Hindu devotees believe that the special pujas bring new light to their lives. They regard the Deepavali day as the day which brought a new light to them by God Vishnu. It is a tradition to light lamps during the festive season. Hindu devotees also decorate their homes and worship the main deities Shiva, Vishnu and Gana in Kovil pujas. Another main tradition is partaking of food. Hindu devotees normally engage in a 21-day fast prior to the commencement of Deepavali. They call off the fast with the dawn of the festival, and the period of fasting is known as Kedar Gauri.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe, issuing a message in connection with the Deepavali Day, says all Sri Lankans must embark upon a collective program to dispel the strong gloom pervading the motherland. The President's message points out that the country is facing the types of challenges that it never had encountered before. The teachers of Deepavali are based on peace, brotherhood and togetherness. The President in his message further points out that in order to rebuild the country, the citizens must turn towards light as their prime expectation. They must come forward disregarding all differences based on race, creed and political affiliations. President Wickremesinghe in his message has also expressed wishes on the beginning of a bright future for a prosperous Sri Lanka where the expectations of all persons are fulfilled. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena in his Deepavali Day message reiterates the importance of all to unite and act for common good by taking into their hearts the true meaning of Deepavali. Every citizen must act in determination to overcome the challenging period. He further points out that the 100 or 1,000 reasons could be devised to create differences, but the most important thing is to set aside such differences and to act with a sense of common consensus. The Prime Minister's message also points out on the need for all to rally around behind a spiritual and progressive victory rather than relying on personal victories. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa says the Deepavali is being recorded as a historic commemoration on good against evil, giving freedom to the human society. He also calls upon all citizens to make a wish on this noble day to defeat the evil of today, known as challengers. He also prays for the free Sri Lanka, where all could live in peace and coexistence. Minister of Mass Media Dr. Bandula Gunawardena has also extended best wishes on behalf of the Deepavali festival. The minister said that Sri Lankans have been in recent times acted as a nation to divide themselves based on race, creed, caste, colour and sex. However, today with the dawn of the Deepavali, which signifies coming out of darkness, Sri Lankan people are at crossroads. He has extended best wishes for all Sri Lankan citizens to live without fear and suspicion and in a peaceful manner.
Now, Hindu devotees throughout the island have organized numerous ceremonies to commemorate the Deepavali day. The Netra channel of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation has also celebrated the event by transmitting many programs throughout the day today. The program parade has been set up according to a concept of acting director of the Netra channel, Nila N. Kasim. Minister Douglas Devananda has also attended a puja for the deities at the Mayurapati Kovil in Vallavatta this morning. A group including parliamentarian Kumara Welgama has also attended the event. Chief Clergyman Shivasri Chandananda Kurukal has presided over a special puja at the Sri Manika Pillai Yar Kovil in Hatton. Pujas were conducted the whole day at the Sri Venkateshwaran Vishnu Kovil in Nadimala Dehivala as well. These events have been officiated by Chief Clergy Chandrakanta Kurukal and Ananda Kumara Kurukal. A special puja at the Kadiravela Yudhaswami Kovil in Kalutara was presided over by Chief Clergyman Shivasri Somas Kurukal. The Siddhi Vinayagar Pullayar Kovil in Vaunia has also conducted a special puja today.
Presidential pardon has been granted on 8 Tamil prisoners. They have been released according to the powers vested on the President under the 34th clause of the Constitution to pardon any person who has been convicted as an offender through a verdict of court of law in Sri Lanka. It has also been pointed out that the release of the prisoners is the outcome of several rounds of discussions conducted between the President and the Tamil members of Parliament on several occasions. The pre-monitoring on the information of the Tamil prisoners has been carried out through the intervention of the Ministry of Defence on the instructions of the President. A final decision has been taken upon inquiry from the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General over the report on agreement. 3 of the released prisoners were detainees who have been accused and found guilty of attempting to assassinate former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga. Preliminary background for the freedom of the prison inmates has been secured through mutual agreement of the former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga by the President's Secretary Samaneka Naika according to the instructions of the President. Measures have also been taken to release 4 more detainees affiliated to the LTTE organization who are currently serving sentences in the Magazine prison in Colombo. Accordingly, their remaining period of imprisonment will be lessened prior to the release. 2 more Tamil detainees are scheduled to be released after they themselves withdrew the cases filed by them at the appeals court. It has also been reported that 2 other Tamil prisoners will be released soon under a presidential pardon. 3 of them is a prisoner who has been sentenced to a 30-year imprisonment and spent 22 years of prison term. Another prisoner has spent 11 out of 14-year prison term, while another prisoner has spent 10 years in prison undergoing a 14-year-old prison term. Other prisoners who are to be released include 2 who have spent 5 years in prison serving a 14-year-old prison sentence. It has also been pointed out that 2 prisoners subjected to a 19-year-old prison term will also be released after completing an 11-year prison term.
Now, the Department of Meteorology forecast over a lessening of the rainy weather condition in the coming days. The President is reported to have extended necessary funds to the Disaster Management Centre to be used in granting relief to the people affected by the disaster. The disaster management teams and relief teams are in readiness to attend to any situation. 84 divisional secretariat divisions in 14 districts have been affected by rainy weather condition. 7 relief centres are extending relief to 13,808 persons belonging to 3,253 families. 4 houses have been fully damaged and 188 houses are partially damaged. The deep depression in the sea of the Central Bay of Bengal has been developed into a minor storm by last evening.
The Met Department predicts that it will be turned into a hurricane by today. The department further predicts that the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and northwestern provinces as well as the Mathura and Galle districts will be subjected to showers or thunder showers from time to time. In some locations, rainfall exceeding 100 millimeters is expected. The sea areas around the island will turn rough with the lashing of thunder showers. Such rough conditions may prevail especially in the sea areas off the coast from Galle to Hambantota via Mathura. Other sea areas would also become somewhat rough at times.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has instructed to double the fuel quota for three-wheelers engaged in passenger transport. Accordingly, each passenger transport three-wheeler in the Western Province will be provided with 10 litres of fuel starting from the 6th of next month. The decision in this regard was taken at a discussion between Senior Presidential Advisor on National Security and Chief of the Presidential Staff Sagala Ratnayaka and the representatives of professional three-wheeler associations. Accordingly, the current 5-litre quota will be increased to 10 litres. This is the first stage of an island-wide program commencing from the Western Province. It has also been reported that registration of three-wheelers is scheduled to commence on the 1st of next month. Registration for the increase of fuel quotas for passenger transport three-wheelers in other provinces of the island is scheduled to take place between 6th and the 13th of next month. There are 1,080,000 three-wheelers in the island, and out of this number, around 400,000 are engaged in passenger transport. Minister Kanchana Wijayasekara State, Minister Lasanthala Giavanna, Director General of the Presidential Trade Union Saman Ratnapriya have also participated in the discussion.
Now, in more stories here at home, the Litra Gas Company says that it is hoping to finalize payments of a debt amounting to 26 billion rupees obtained from the World Bank for the importation of gas to Sri Lanka in the first half of December this year. The chairman of the company, Mudita Piri, says that only 13 billion rupees is left to be repaid. Chairman Mudita Piri also says that he believes that there is a possibility to further reduce the price of gas by the beginning of next month. Chairman of the Litra Gas Company, Mudita Piri, said that as anticipated, they were able to repay a sum of 7.5 billion rupees to the Ministry of Finance during this month. He added that the company has paid back 6.5 billion rupees last month. The chairman has also expressed optimism of paying back the remaining 13 billion rupees by the beginning of December this year and to settle the financial deal with the World Bank. He has also expressed satisfaction over the ability of the Litra Gas Company to use the dollars to resolve the problem by 100%. It is the Ministry of Finance who repays the dollar debt in rupee value. Chairman Mudita Piri further said that he observes a tendency of the gas price further coming down by the first week of next month.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that the state of professionalism will have to be enhanced both in public and private sectors for economic revival. He has made these observations at a ceremony held in connection with the 50th anniversary of the Supply and Materials Management Institute in Colombo today. President of the International Association on Supplies, Purchasing and Management, Ms. Marina Lindeck, has also participated in the anniversary celebrations via Zoom technology. Keynote address has been delivered by Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, K.M. Mahinda Sirivardhana. The Prime Minister addressing the meeting further said that the Supplies and Material Management Institute should be commended for the contribution it makes to strengthen the economy by providing specialist knowledge of professionals by connecting with the procurement network. He has also requested the intellectuals attended the conference to explore new methodologies on enhancing the supply chain. A commemorative stamp has also been issued in connection with the Golden Jubilee of the association. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, Secretary to the Ministry of Mass Media Anusha Palpita and the President of the Supplies and Material Management Institute Sarath Kamage have also participated in the event.
Students have followed your courses and also holding high positions in the garment sector as well as in the supply chain. Professionals are contributing the most valuable strength to the economy. It is indeed vital state officials are in the way. I expect them to work with the private sector, all the institutions that can contribute. We invite to contribute to this new venture for the revival of the rural economy. It is not only rural, it is a new challenge that we have to cater. And in these small industries, the major industries, business ventures, all over the place. Supply chain moves faster. This is where we can make certain breakthrough. We can support the export sector. We can cut down on costs. We can generate new areas for our younger generation, the small and the medium scale entrepreneur class, which could gain from this new window if it can be worked together. I invite the Institute to support this.
Now, the State Minister of Finance, Dr. Ranjit Sembalapitia, says that the annual tax on casino has been increased to 500 million rupees from 200 million rupees. Now, the relevant amendments are scheduled to come into effect from the 1st of August this year. The State Minister further says that the admission charge for a Sri Lankan entering a casino and taxes on live betting centres have also been increased. State Minister of Finance Dr. Ranjit Sembalapitia said that the betting and gambling tax draft bill is being revised. He further said that they are also hoping to impose a special tax on registration on places of gambling. State Minister Dr. Sembalapitia has added that the entrance fee of $200 will be charged from a Sri Lankan entering a casino hall. This amount equals to 72,000 rupees. He further said that the existing annual tax on a gambling place will also be increased to 1 million rupees from the current amount of 600,000 rupees. There will also be revisions to increase the business turnover tax to 15% from the current 10%. It has also been proposed to increase the 4 million rupees tax on betting agents to 5 million rupees. The State Minister also said that it has also been anticipated to increase the tax charged on inactive betting centres to 75,000 rupees from the existing tax of 50,000 rupees. State Minister Dr. Sembalapitia has also pointed out that all casino and betting centres are required to pay 40% of their profit after the taxation procedure.
The Consumer Affairs Authority has implemented a special operation in the Colombo district today, as well as in search of boutiques which sell bread of low weight, and court cases were scheduled to be filed against several bakers and hotels, as well as supermarkets which found to have engaged in illegal practices. Many supermarkets, bakeries and sales centres in Piliyandala, Kasbava, Quota and Pannipitiya have been subjected to raids today. Legal action have been ordered to be taken against errant shops which engage in low-quality production. Accordingly, 7 shops have been filed with cases. Colombo District Secretary Pradeep Yasaratna also took part in the search operation. Charges have been filed based on not displaying prices of bread, not selling bread of required weight and not using weighing balances in the business places. The normal weight of a loaf of bread is 450 grams. The weight of 1.5 loaf of bread is 225 grams. It is also a mandatory requirement for all bread sales centres to use a weighing scale registered at the Department of Weighs and Measures. The Consumer Affairs Authority says that if any consumer has any doubt of the weight of the bread, such a person should be allowed to weigh the product. The authority further says the offenders found guilty of charges are liable to fine from 1,000 rupees to 100,000 rupees for each offence and also subjected to prison sentence not exceeding 3 months. Well, that's a look at local news. Stay with us. Foreign news is coming up next.
සීගේට පුළුවන් නම් මටත් පුළුවන්. සීගේට පුළුවන් නම් මටත් පුළුවන්. සීගේට පුළුවන් නම් මටත් පුළුවන්. සීගේට පුළුවන් නම් අපි හැමෝටම පුළුවන්. 100% දේශීය නැවුම් එළකිරිවල පෝෂණය. ප්‍රීමා ස්ටෙලා සෙට් යෝගට්.
ජය ගන්න වැඩි වෙන්න.
People's Remittance இடமிருந்து நாளாந்தம் 10,000 ரூபாய், வாராந்தம் பெறுமதியான தங்க பவுன், மாதாந்தம் 1 மில்லியன் ரூபாவுடன் வருட இறுதி மாபெரும் சீட்டிழப்பில் 1 கோடி ரூபாய். நீங்கள் வெளிநாட்டிலிருந்து மக்கள் வங்கியினூடாக பணம் அனுப்பும் போது பரிசு குவியல். People's Remittance கோடி அதிர்ஷ்டம், அனுப்பவும் வெல்லவும்.
majesticity of youthfulness, moving forward in magnificent grandeur, to feel the limits of triumph, seen in different angles. NB, an international brand, strengthening a world-renowned cricket team as official formal clothing sponsor.
அம்மா யார்கிட்ட இருந்து? ஜனாதிபதி காரியாலயம். அப்பட ஆபரேஷனுக்கு காசு பாஸ் ஆயிட்டு.
இது போன்றவர்களின் வாழ்வை ஒளிமயமாக்கிட ஜனாதிபதி நிதியத்திற்கு பெரும் சக்தியை வழங்கியது. 20 ரூபாயால் நீங்கள் கொள்வனவு செய்த அபிவிருத்தி லோத்தரை என்பதை அறிவீர்களா?
அப்பாக்கு இப்ப சுகமா?
வாழ்வை ஒளிமயமாக்கும் அபிவிருத்தி லோத்தர்.
Welcome back. Now in foreign news, taking a look at news coming in from the United Kingdom. Rishi Sunak will be the United Kingdom's next Prime Minister after winning the Conservative Party leadership contest today. He will become the UK's first British Asian Member of Parliament and at age 42, the youngest in more than a century. Immediately after being selected by Tory MPs, he ruled out an early general election and warned his party that they had to unite or die. The ex-chancellor, who oversaw the nation's finances during the COVID pandemic, was the only contender to gain enough support from MPs. His rival Penny Mordaunt dropped out of the race in the final minutes before nominations closed. Labour Party says Sunak will become another Tory Prime Minister chosen without a mandate from voters. The party repeated calls for a general election echoed by the Scottish National Party, the Liberal Democrats and the Green Party.
Two pilots have been killed when a Russian fighter jet crashed into a two-story residential building in southern Siberia. Video of Sunday's crash showed the aircraft dove almost vertically before hitting the building in a fireball, sending dense black smoke into the sky. Siberian authorities said that the residents of the house for two families were unharmed. Firefighters were seen at the scene working to extinguish the blaze. The local branch of Russia's emergencies ministry said that Su-30 fighter jet crashed during a training flight. And an industrial center of more than 600,000 people is home to an aircraft factory producing the Su-30 fighters. The crash occurred less than a week after Sukhoi Su-34 jet crashed into a multi-story residential building in the Russian town, killing 15 people. The Su-34 is a supersonic twin-engine bomber equipped with sophisticated sensors and weapons. It is a key component of the Russian Air Force and has been widely deployed in the war in Syria and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And today marks the Nations Day, celebrated every 24th of October, marking its anniversary of the entry into force in 1945 of the UN Charter. With the ratification of this founding document by the majority of its signatories, including the 5 permanent members of the Security Council, the United Nations officially came into being. The UN Day, celebrated every year, offers the opportunity to amplify common agenda and reaffirm the purposes and principles of the UN Charter that have guided nations for the past 77 years. There is no other global organization with the legitimacy, convening power and normative impact of the United Nations. No other global organization gives hope to so many people for a better world and can deliver the future we want. Today, the urgency for all countries to come together to fulfill the promise of the Nations United has rarely been greater.
இப்படி வந்திட இப்படி அல்பங்கள் Prima Kotumir Fantamai.
Welcome back. Now in your sports stories, taking a look at the next Super 12 round match of the T20 World Cup, which will be held between Sri Lanka and Australia, will be held tomorrow at Perth. Now the match will commence at 4:30 p.m. Sri Lanka time.
The Sri Lanka team, after receiving qualifications to enter the Super 12 round from the qualifying round, faced the Island team in Hobart yesterday. The Sri Lanka team has secured a 9-wicket victory in this encounter. The Australian team has competed against New Zealand in the first match of the Super 12 round and conceded to a defeat of 89 runs. In the history of T20 World Cup cricket, Sri Lanka and Australia has competed on 4 occasions, and Australia recorded victories in 3 of these matches. The Sri Lanka team is the winner of 1 match. 25 T20 internationals have so far been conducted between the teams of the 2 countries. Australia had recorded 15 victories and Sri Lanka won the remaining 10 matches. The Australian team had secured the T20 World Cricket crown last year. In the year 2010, they were the runners-up. The last time Sri Lanka won the T20 World Cup cricket trophy was in the year 2014. The Sri Lankan cricket team have been successful in becoming runners-up in the years 2009 and 12. Only 3 T20 international matches have so far been played in the venue of tomorrow's match at the Perth Stadium.
We got the confidence. We have the confidence better than the Australian team, and hopefully we'll do better in the game also tomorrow. Yeah, it's always nice to win a game, and our hope is always go for the last 4 teams. So if we want to go for the last 4 teams, we have to beat them. Actually, they have a very good fast bowlers and spinners also. I think they will bounce back because they are the last World Cup champions. So they have to bounce back if they want to be in the tournament. So we have a very good batting lineup as well. So I think hopefully we'll get more than 160, 170 runs.
Beautiful placement. And that will be 50.
Well, now in another Super 12 round match held today in the ICC Cricket World Cup, saw Bangladesh, after an exciting display, defeat the Netherlands by 9 runs. Now the match was held in Hobart, Australia.
Bangladesh team has scored 144 runs for the loss of 8 wickets at the end of the 20 overs. The high scorer was Afif Hussain, who hit 27 runs. Netherlands bowlers Paul van Merkin and Bas de Leede took 2 wickets each. The Netherlands team were all out for 135 runs for the high scorer for Colin, who scored 48. Taskin Ahmed has captured 4 wickets for 25 runs. The second Super 12 round match of the T20 World Cup T20 cricket tournament was conducted between Zimbabwe and South Africa, also at Hobart, Australia. Inning of each was restricted to 9 overs as a result of the obstructions from rain. The Zimbabwe team has scored 79 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. Wesley was not out for 35. As rain continued to obstruct play, the South African team was given a victory target of 64 runs in 7 overs. However, the South Africans were able to score 51 runs at the end of the 3 overs. As a result of the repeated rain obstructions, the match was ended without a decision. However, each team was granted 1 bonus point.
இப்படி வந்திட இப்படி அல்பங்கள் Prima Kottumi Fantamai.
Well, that's the wrap of tonight's Primetime News Bulletin here at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. And until we meet again next time, do take care, stay safe and good night.